So we will have a special look at the laws with respect to citizen initiative and citizen-initiated referendums. I will give you a short introduction. My name is Klaus Hofmann. I am at the university, from the University of Wuppertal, and I'm in Wuppertal. I am responsible for the project of the Taiwan Democracy Navigator, which is also funded by Democracy International, who is here co-partner of this forum, and also by the Swiss Democracy Foundation. So, in the short introduction, we will see about the law considered as a process of citizen participation. We will take then a look on 6 phases of the law of citizen participation. Usually we would like to have shown you, but at the moment there are technical difficulties. Then I will talk about the so-called toolbox, instruments which I would call toolbox. And finally, after this formal, more technical introduction, we will have here Carlos Gonzalez from Mexico, who will give you a concrete example what it means to deal with the law. So, and then we will have hopefully time for the discussion. I plan to discuss it with you about 20 minutes, and Carlos will take about another 20 minutes. So we hope that we have a lot of time to discuss this. So at first I would like to introduce you a little bit on the project which I'm responsible for. It is a project that is a database which is listing democracy procedures in practice worldwide. At the moment we are featuring 1,793 legal designs from 113 countries. It is, and to make it comparable, you need a structure. You need to have a certain structure to make it comparable. And there is based on a unique typology, which is distinguishing 3 types of popular procedures. There is the referendum, the popular procedure, the initiative, the referendum, and the plebiscites. And this is based on the following. Who is the first question? Who is the author of this proposal? Second, who initiates it? And third, who is the decision maker? So, take an example, citizen proposed a law. So they are the author of the law, and they initiate it by collecting signatures. And third, the decision makers will be the people. So this is the citizen initiative. It belongs to the procedure number 1, and then we have the referendum. The referendum we call the procedure where the author is usually the parliament. Maybe it's the Congress, maybe it's even in some cases a president. Then the citizens collect signatures, which are the initiators. They collect signatures to recall this law or this decree. And then finally, the decision maker is again the people. And everything else we call plebiscite. There is one in-between measure, which we call agenda-setting initiative, where people are the author of the instrument. They make a suggestion, collect signatures, but they put it to Parliament, and Parliament decide about this suggestion. Okay, so this is about, in short, about my project. You can find it online, of course, on the direct-democracy navigator.org. So you can see, inform yourself about all procedures, including those here in Taiwan. What I do now, we come to to look back to the second point, where I want to introduce you to see, suggest to you to see that the law is nothing else than a political decision made concrete to become a rule that we all have to should abide to. And this means it abuses already also a process of legislation for the citizens. This means from the idea to deliberation and to supporters. You never can give a complete worldwide template which you just take and use it and do it for all countries in the world. I think this is very clear, because we never have the same political structure in each country. In one country you have, as an example, a presidential system, and in the other country you have a parliamentary system already. This means that you have to make a special different. You have to differentiate that, and of course in each country you have a different political culture, which also is to take into consideration. And in some cases, even as an example, geography makes a huge difference on this process. So there are, I just suggest to, even though it is a process, I want to suggest that we do it for this purpose here, differentiate 6 phases. The first phase is the phase of, which I would call as the phase of preparation. The second phase is the phase of realization. The third phase would be the verification phase. The fourth, the distribution phase. The sixth, the fifth, the voting day, and the sixth, the implementation. Let's have a look on the first phase, which is one of the most difficult phases. No, I'm sorry. We have to first to go to the preparation phase. And in this phase, you need to have to regulate it first. You must define the process. So you need a clear definition, what is this process? You can have in the process things like that you can exclude certain issues to vote on. You can say, okay, people can suggest a law, but not those issues, mostly on taxes, mostly on internal regulations of certain kinds, mostly not on judiciary issues, and now you can exclude already by definition these issues, and you also can define the process vaguely. So, like in the case of Mexico, there is a rule which defines that you can put only issues on popular vote which have a transcendental meaning for the whole country. So this is a very vague definition. There must be somebody else who defines it. Then it is the second is when and where to register. So if people come out of this perspective of the people, they need to know where to go. Very simple. And maybe you have a huge country and you have to register in the capital. This already means you might have to take a long journey to register. And where to register? Do you have to go to Parliament? Is there electoral commission? So who is guiding this process? Is there somebody who guides this process or not? Or is it just the Secretary of Parliament? This means the this is a question of power. Who has the power to regulate the further process? And third question, who may register? Usually you say, okay, that's very clear, but it is by far not clear who may register. Is it just citizens who are 25 years of age? Are it residential with residential permits for 5 years, 6 years, who may have a foreign passport, and so on? Then another question which it has to be regulated. What does it need to register? But this is all what people have to know before they even start. So what do I have to prepare to have a valid registration? Then another question which we already discussed at the last panel. Do the applicants get help, support, advice? Is there any guidance which is, and this is the main point, non-partisan, is it what?
Non-partisan. Non-partisan.
No, partisan. Yeah, non-partisan. And so, can mistakes, as an example, be here? So if you make a mistake by registering, which they then notice, if they or everything back to you and say, do it next time, what you have to have in mind when you start this process of registering. Because it's also time, and this is the main issue when you take this as a whole process and you understand all of what is coming up to you, you already have to make a budget, and you can only make a budget if you take the process from the beginning to the end. And then you know, do I have the money or don't do I have the money or not? So this is already, some initiatives already failed because they started it, but then they did not have the money to go forward. This also means, especially when we ask the question which is here on, who provides the templates for collecting signatures? So is it the state? Do you have to provide them yourself? And there is only a template from the Electoral Commission or the Electoral Administration, whatever. And what does it need for this? What does this template needs again for providing the signature of those who sign this template for collection? Okay. There's another point which I want to say already here. There is always be aware that if you are able to, if you need to collect signatures only electronically, this can be a trap, can be a pitfall, because maybe in some areas you don't have an internet access. It depends on the country. And already then you have come into problems. Or in the case you need to take a specific electronic instrument, like you're only allowed to use Apple iPads. So tablets. Already another problem in certain areas. I'm only telling you things which already happened, so and the whole process will fail. Okay. Next one. Okay, that's it. So we come to the point realization. Again, the question, who made realization means now you're going out, everything is registered, and you have your tablet, your template to collect the signatures. Again, the question will then be, who may support the initiative? Again, the question is combined at the beginning with the question, who may register? Who may support the initiative? Who is allowed to sign your petition? And how many signatures in total do we need to collect? Are there any signatures you need already in the process of registering? So in some cases you need 1/10 of the total to register already. And in the case that this happens, are these 10% which you have to vote before will be counted also at the end? Or do you have to put them additionally in your and of course, which is what is the available time for collecting the signatures? And another very interesting point. But I give you figures about that again afterwards. And in that context also, it's important to know where can you collect them. Is it everywhere? Are certain places only allowed? And of course, can you collect them free, or you have to give all into the hands of the officials? So in Bavaria, in my home country, in the federal state of Bavaria, you have 2 weeks, and people have to come to official offices and sign. So this can happen to you also if you're living in a country who defines a way. And we have the maximum of time available to collect signatures at the moment in Switzerland, which is 18 months. So, and the distribution. Now, this is the verification is the next one. Still, yeah, it's not on the verification. You collected all your signatures, but they have to be verified. Who will do that again? Who is it doing? And which institution will do the verification of the signatures? Is there a time limit defined for the verification of signatures? Or can they let you wait for 6, 9, 10, 12, 15 months? What happens after the verification period ended? So what's the next step then? Maybe it comes to Parliament. Parliament will discuss. Maybe there is nothing. They just let you wait until you get the final decision. Is there a brochure done? Is there advertisement possible? Can you put billboards on the street to discuss it? And when you get a brochure, who will write this brochure? Is it the Electoral Commission? Is it you yourself? Is it whoever the Parliament? Everything is possible. So, but it's important for you to have a good ending for your initiative. This is very often, I can only can only say that it is very often the part of distribution is very often a part in the process which is underestimated. Because this is the main part. This is the part of winning all the people who will go for a vote, who vote for this initiative. It is the part of discussion. It is the part of deliberation. So there is very important that media covers this initiative, which is going to a ballot. So are there public, if in the case you have public broadcasters, can they take, is there a must for them to have discussion rounds on television? In the case of electoral commission, can the electoral commission take a look on the advertisement, on the discussion which is coming around? Who can discuss with how many money the issues, the ballot initiatives, which will be discussed in that part? And this goes on, and how long will this take? So you need, we already talked about it in the panel before, you need time for this process. So this is the most important process. And now, the next one, please. And now the pitfalls. This is a very, maybe a confusing issue. This is, I call it toolbox, which may show you where are all the pitfalls which an initiator of a citizen initiator may have to deal with. You have a lot of quorums, but you can always combine those quorums with other quorums. The issue, you can already exclude issues, as I started with. And you also can signatures of the same turnout signatures which you need to apply for, and you have to have at least from 50% of the regions these signatures in the same amount. So we have to have 2% in total. As an example, you need from each district 2% of the citizens. So this takes a lot of time and again a lot of money to fulfill these issues. The same is with each other. You can think about, this is just some examples, you think about combinations which look fine. So if you have a quorum for signature collection of 2%, it doesn't look high. But if you have it combined with a regional quorum of 2% of the electorate, it makes it very difficult. So you have always to look close on it. And the same is that the turnout quorum at the end of the process, at voting day, it might not be high, it might be 10%. But if it is combined with a regional quorum in each district, 10% as well, then you might have be in trouble to win it. So everything can look fine, but if you look closely, you see, forget it, don't do it, because you will spend all your money to promote an initiative, and you will see at the end you will lose. So this is why I want to always tell you that look at the whole process, because it is important to know where are the obstacles. You have to have the money, and if you get money back from the state, usually you get it back at the end. And if you are unhappy, if you are not lucky, you already have to pay at the beginning a deposit. and you will only get it back if you win at the end. Now this is all a big risk, and we do not want to have that only the rich can allow such an initiative. So everybody should be able to initiate the whole process. So this toolbox, in this case, which is only a part of it, not to overfill this chart here, can be used for all different issues which we were talking before in those phases. So just an overview. These are examples in the navigator. I reduced it for the better for the purpose of this presentation here. Just to the classical amount of signatures. We have in total 24 countries which offer the citizen initiative. And I did, according to the data of the navigator here, a table, and you see how many number of the countries use a certain percentage. 1.5% you find 3, 2% only 1, between 2 and 5% 5 countries, between 5 and 8% 3 countries, between 8 and 10% 8 countries, and more than 20% where the range is 10.7 to 25% 4. So you see roughly it's half in the more than 8% and less than 10%, plus more than 10%, it's about 12. In half of the countries which allow citizen initiatives on national level, you can forget it. The amount is already too high. So the next, the time. There are 3 countries who allow you only 15 to 45 days. Up to 6 months we have 6 countries, and more than 6 months up to 12 months 3, and more than 12 up to 18 months 1, and not specified 11. This is mostly not specified means that they have a certain voting day where you can, so mostly election day, but they don't give you a start point. They only say on each voting day we allow 1 initiative. So when you come with 1 initiative and another person or another organization already started with 1, next time. All right. Now we are coming to a concrete example.
Okay.